A few years ago, when I was addicted to video games, I used to make up a bunch of excuses in my head to try and justify the fact that I was basically wasting my teenage years. I kind of wanted to quit playing and certainly at least cut down a little bit, but I really liked video games and I was saying to myself, oh, I'll just play for 1 hour a day or just a little bit, you know? So if you relate to that, I think this video is gonna help change your perspective a little bit. My name is Charlie. My goal is to help other young men overcome their digital addictions just like I did, and I want to help you out as well. I hear quite a few guys make excuses to justify the fact of why they're playing video games, and I totally get it because that was me a couple years ago. One thing that I consistently hear is, oh bro, I'll just play for 1 hour a day, 30 minutes, or some small amount of time that they've justified in their head for some reason. And I can confidently say from years of personal experience that that is some BS. Unless you literally have set a timer on your cell phone and you put it next to your computer, and you literally turn off your computer the moment it goes off, it is never 1 hour. So it's after school or after work or whatever, and you hop on, right? You hop on the Discord call, and your homie, your slow ass friend, you know who I'm talking about? He's making dinner, and he won't be on for another 15 minutes. And you're thinking like, bro, will you hurry up? So he finally eats dinner or whatever, and you guys squat up, you're in Fortnite. What do kids play these days? I don't even know. So you take 5 minutes in the lobby, then your game takes 15, 20 minutes, you know, maybe 25 if you make it to the end. And you don't realize any of that because you're not checking the clock like that every single minute. But it's been only one game and you have been on your computer for 45, 50, 55 minutes. But you know, you can't just do one game, at least not me. I always took like 3 or 4 and boom, 3 games later, 2 hours have already flown by. If you're doing something every single day, even if it is just for 1 hour, you're naturally gonna think about it at other times throughout the day. So let's say you're at school and it's the week before finals and your exams are coming up, you know. It's not like when you leave the campus at that exact moment, your brain stops thinking about your finals. No, you're gonna study and you're gonna be a little anxious and it's gonna be on your mind all week. It's the exact same situation with video games or literally any other hobby for that matter. Back when I was on Brawl Stars, I'd be in class like the day after I was staying up all night playing ranked matches, and I'd be thinking like, oh, who could I have picked on that map that would have been a better choice or something. And if you're quite good at your game and you take it seriously, I don't doubt that you're in that exact same scenario and you're thinking about it just randomly as you go about your day. Let me give you another situation that I was talking about recently with some coworkers. So they said they just play for a little bit in the evenings after work to unwind, just an hour. They specifically use that word unwind, as in relax after a long day at work. And that got me thinking, like if I'm trying to relax, especially when it's at nighttime when I'm gonna go to sleep soon, the last thing I would do, the absolute last thing to cross my mind would be to load up a super bright screen with very stimulating visual blue light, hop on a call with my friends, start chatting with them, and get laser focused because I'm waiting for some guy to pop out of the bush or something. Literally every single element of video games, and all electronics for that matter, is designed to keep you as stimulated and as addicted as possible. So why would you use it right before you go to bed? And then we go back to the 1 hour thing, which is again, a complete myth. Let's say it's 9 p.m., you're just gonna play for a little bit, you say. So you hop on, just play for an hour, you know? You lose a little bit, so obviously you gotta get back up to where you were at. And then you check the clock, and before you know it, it's midnight, and you have class the next morning, and you already know that you're gonna be sleep deprived, and you're upset at your future self. And then when you finally do go to your bed, your mind is absolutely racing, thinking about the game you just played, and you can't fall asleep for another hour. I used to have the most cooked sleep schedule whenever I played video games, and if you've ever had that phase where you hopped on every night, I'm willing to bet that you did too. If you get home from a long day of work or school or whatever and you're super tired, please do not fire up the PC. It will just make you more awake. If you are tired, just go to sleep and you will thank yourself the next morning when you're actually well rested because you didn't go to bed at 1 a.m. You might be watching this and thinking that my views are a little extreme, and you can probably think of someone you know in life who's on the game for an hour a day, or probably 2 or 3, but regardless, they still seem to have a good life. This is one that I personally used to say is kind of a cope. And it was that all these perfectly successful people play video games, so why can't I? I heard some story about Elon Musk, like the world's richest man, is a gamer. If he can do it and he's so successful and his life is good and all this stuff, then why shouldn't we be able to do it? And on a smaller levels, I would see sometimes my friends' dads would play the game after work and they have good lives and good balance in their life and good families and all this stuff and they turn out fine. Fair enough, right? Well, here's the thing that I would tell my younger self who was talking like that. Pretty much all those guys became successful in a period of time where they cut out all of the video games, along with all the other distractions. And you, 16-year-old Charlie or whoever needs to hear this, does not have that success. I don't even have it currently. You think of any entrepreneur or athlete or anybody else who's super renowned and successful, I guarantee you that they were fully focused on their craft and cut out all of their digital distractions during their rise to fame. I mean, if you think Ronaldo was hopping on the PlayStation every night after his soccer training in Portugal or something, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody, maybe one exception here or there, but everyone who has that well-balanced life that you want and that I want to, did not play video games in order to get there. They worked and they leveled up in the real world, not the digital one. Now, if you're perfectly content with the state of your life, then yeah, you can maybe argue, I'll do whatever the heck I want with my leisure time. But the odds are that you're a young man, you watching me right now, and the truth is that most young men are quite unsatisfied with their lives and use video games as an escape from the real world because they imitate the masculine desire for progress, which is a whole nother topic. I could make many videos about that. But anyway, every hour that you do put into the game at this age is an hour taken away from your development as a young man IRL. If you go to school all day, or maybe you work a full-time job, you could use that last, say, 2 hours free time you have at the end of the day to either hit the gym, for example, or you could sit at your computer. You can either level up your strength scale or something of your character on the game, or you level up your strength IRL. Everything in life boils down to the two choices and alternatives of how you can spend your time. My advice would be to make sure as a young man that you're spending that time correctly so that your 1 hour can be fulfilled and productive instead of turning into 3, cutting into your sleep schedule, and actively making your life worse. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more sauce. See ya.